So what would you say is the biggest problem for real estate in 2025?
Hmm. Um, I think insurance, hands down, insurance. Okay, think about yourself. Have your insurance premiums gone up in the last couple of years very much? Have you noticed?
Car insurance has actually gone down.
Oh, good for you.
Well, I
Jeez.
also had some speeding tickets fall off, so there's that.
Okay,
But
that's a separate subject.
however, my homeowners comes out like yearly.
Oh, it's escrowed, so
Yeah.
you don't even notice.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, well, you're going to be sad when I tell you this.
So I should probably start paying attention to that, huh?
Did your mortgage payment go up? Did they like
Yes.
Okay, there it is. I bet you. Okay.
That I did notice.
So usually when you have a mortgage, it's PITI, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance.
Mhm.
So your loan servicer, as part of your mortgage payment, is getting all four of those things, saving the money for taxes and insurance every month in an escrow account for you. And then once a year, they pay your property taxes when they're due. And once a year, they pay your homeowner's insurance when it's due. Then they do an accounting at the end of the year. And if they didn't have enough money from you, then they up your mortgage payment so that they can recoup those costs as they, divide up your payment over the next 12 months, right? So in 2024, so last year, on average, households that had their home and auto combined saw their insurance premiums go up 49%. Like,
So I should definitely check mine.
I mean, I know that our fantastic referral partner for insurance, Amanda Berry at Legacy Insurance Partners, she recommends people shop every year. Um, so we're talking about ongoing insurance costs and how those have risen for homeowners overall. But they've also been affecting deals. They have been causing deals to fall out. We've had to terminate deals over insurance. Um, it's crazy because, like, years ago when we did a deal, insurance was almost an afterthought because it was such a you just knew you were gonna get it. You were gonna ask your current insurance person, and you were gonna maybe get some quotes, and then you were gonna pick one, and then the insurance person sends the policy binder over to the lender, and the underwriters get it, give you your clear to close, and you close. Nobody's really thinking about it that much.
Right.
In fact, I used to not even talk to clients about it. I would let the lender, like, when the lender wanted it, the lender would call them and be like, "We need to get your insurance now. You need to shop for insurance." Um, but it's just too dangerous now because now, if it turns out that they can't get insurance, or if the rate is so much that they don't qualify for the loan, like now they're out of their debt to income ratio, like, now the deal's not going through, right?
Wow. That's crazy.
I know. I know. And we have this low so we have a whole bunch of deadlines in the contract. One of them is for property insurance. Um, so now I am telling buyers right up front, like at the same time that we're doing inspections and stuff, I'm also giving them an email intro with with a referral partner for insurance and letting them know that they need to start shopping for insurance now. And I tell them, like, we have until this date to terminate the contract if you can't find acceptable insurance. So, it's just become a much bigger deal.
So instead of the afterthought, it's a forethought. It's like, yeah.
Totally. Yeah. Because it's not, well, and it's not even just about the cost of the insurance. It's about whether or not you can even get a policy for the home. Um,
So what are the main factors like that they look for?
so there's a few things that they're looking for, and there's new stuff that they're doing. So some of the factors are the age of roof, how many claims have been made on that particular house. So that has nothing to do with the buyers or their insurance history or anything else,
Mm-hmm.
just that property, how many claims have been made on that property. Um, and so now that they've updated their underwriting and eligibility guidelines. They're sending people out on site. Like, they're sending an inspector out on site to do an exterior inspection on every property within 60 days of starting a policy.
It's almost like if you had filed a claim kind of thing. Like, almost like that.
I guess, because I guess if you file a claim, an insurance adjuster
Yeah.
comes out to look at your thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're sending an inspector to come out and look at the property and like put physical eyes on it. And then they reserve the right to like basically not offer the policy or cancel the policy, like if they don't like what they see.
So then what happens with the property? Like, if nobody, like, the homeowners, like, just can't sell it?
So if you've got a property that's not really insurable and you, I mean, first of all, there's standard carriers and there are non-standard carriers. So if you can't get a property insured through a standard carrier, you do have this other option of going to this sort of like secondary market or non-standard carriers. They call them excess and surplus lines, I think, in the biz.
I'm gonna say, what is this, like, black market of
Google. Yes. No. So if you're having trouble getting insurance, it could just be that you're having trouble getting insurance through the standard carriers, like the big names that you know, right?
Oh.
Like Progressive, Farmers, State Farm, Allstate. Those are all kind of like standard carriers. Then there's ones that you've probably never heard of, like I think Burns and Wilcox is one. So you can go to this non-standard market where, of course, things cost more, right? And if you can't get insurance through the non-standard market on that, if it's because of the property, then you're into a situation where you have to find a cash buyer who may or may not insure it. Like, but it's up to them. It's on them to figure it out. And there's plenty of investors out there, but you're not going to get as much money for it, right?
Right.
Like whenever you sell to a cash investor, not
Yeah.
going to get as much money. Oh, another thing that they're making people do is, you know how you have a deductible? Do you know what your deductible is on your policy?
I do, but I can't think of it at the moment.
Let's just pretend like it's $1,500.
Yeah.
Something like that, right? It might be
probably somewhere
$1,500 or
in there.
$2,500 or something, maybe even $5,000. So it might be something like that. Now, so a lot of policies now, because Colorado has so much wind and hail damage, what the insurance companies have done is they've taken wind and hail damage out and put it in a completely separate category. So they're like, for all of these things, give us your $2,500 deductible and we'll fix it. If it's wind or hail, we need 2% of your property's value before we're going to fix it.
Okay.
And 2% on hundreds of thousands of dollars is kind of a lot.
Right.
Yeah, so some carriers are requiring 2%, some only 1%. And we mentioned this in another video too, this whole thing about how you have to have 100% replacement cost through your insurance, and the insurance carriers won't do that if the roof is older than 10 years. And now they're asking for documentation.
They won't do the replacement cost?
They won't, or they may not insure it.
Oh, okay.
Right? Or it might cost more to insure it. Okay. So the roof has become a huge, huge deal. Also, they won't insure a home if it's had more than one water loss, and it can't have had more than 2 losses in general. Right? So this is about claims on that property that we were talking about earlier. Also, there's a lot of homeowners policies that you have to bundle auto with it. I don't know why. Like, this is a question for Amanda, right? Like, why would that be one of their rules that now you can't just buy a homeowner's policy, you have to bundle it with your auto. So, and then of course there's entire states and regions that whole companies are pulling out of. Like, like a flood region, and they'll be like, well, we're just not going to provide flood coverage there anymore. So it's starting to be that way here, like with all the fires. Or I think California has had that too with all their fires.
Most likely.
Yeah.
They're always on fire. California's always on fire.
Yeah, and the insurance companies are just like, no, thank you. And they literally like just pull their services out of the entire state. And they're like, we're just not working in that state anymore.
Well, it has, like, they have to have, like, so much backing, right? Like their reserves, basically, like to be able to cover who they're insuring, right? So I guess that's like, I always kind of question like the whole fact of like how do they do that? Like it's insurance, like we pay them, like how do they not like do their job? How do they just say
job,
you have
man.
one job?
You
Like,
had one job.
how do you just not do your
Not
job?
do your job.
You're an insurance company. Where are you going? Like, why are you just not there?
They're just going to other places where they can make more money. Those companies, like, they show tons of profits every year, but then they just continue like making things harder and higher priced. So just a lot of people now are not qualifying anymore for those standard carriers. And if they don't, then they have to go to these non-standard carriers. And like, if you went to a standard carrier, you could probably give them all your stuff and they would give you a quote. How long do you think it'd take them to give you a quote? Like, what would you just expect off the top of your head?
I mean, initially, I feel like they give you one pretty immediate, and then they go in and
That's what I was thinking.
run their
like a day or
numbers.
two, like maybe a day or two,
Yeah.
they would get back to you.
And then they run the numbers and do like their whole little thing, and then they're like, "Here's the final thing." Like,
Yeah, they give you the
within
final binder.
a few days or whatever.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So now if you have to go to a non-standard carrier, it is pages and pages of applications and forms that the insurance agent has to fill out and submit. So that takes longer. Then they submit all that stuff and it's taking like a week, a couple of weeks to hear back from them.
Oh my goodness.
Then these insurance underwriters are acting like mortgage underwriters and they want everything. Like I had them come ask me on a deal. They wanted an invoice for some work that was done. And I don't even remember how they found out about the work, but that's, they're asking for inspection reports. And if you give an underwriter an inspection report, which is literally every single tiny and big thing that is wrong with the house, you don't give underwriters anything more than they need. But if they ask for an entire inspection report, now they've got all this stuff that's wrong with the house.
Right.
Now they start putting conditions on the insurance and wanting to see invoices from stuff that was fixed before they'll even say yes. So they're asking for this documentation before even giving an approval. And then hopefully at some point you get to an approval, but it's weeks.
Right.
It's weeks. So the buyers now, I mean, they have got to start shopping for insurance right away. Same time as inspections. It cannot be put off anymore because it could be that they need to find a different house. That never used to be the case anymore. It never used to be the case.
That's crazy.
I bet you're going to go check out your insurance policy now.
I definitely am. I definitely am going to go do
Look
that.
at us adulting. I'm going to go read my insurance policy.
Yes. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's been a lot. I think that's going to be the biggest problem in real estate in 2025. I mean, some people might say interest rates, but interest rates are what they are and they fluctuate. And when they fluctuate down, you can refi. So, yeah. So, yeah, this insurance thing is a major deal.
I could agree.
If you like this video, if you like me, or if you just like supporting small business in our alternative lifestyle communities, then before you go, please don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and follow the channel.